it really is okay to admit that I'm not okay. And sometimes that's what I have to do. Hi guys, today's video is going to be a somewhat sensitive topic, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a trigger warning about, anxiety, depression, self-harm. If any of those sound like they would upset you or trigger you, please feel free to stop watching the video here. But as some of you may know, most of you maybe, it depends on where you follow me in certain places, what you've seen, but I have not had a very good time dealing with my anxiety lately, and it's been really hard. So today I thought that I would just kind of go over some of the methods that I use in terms of coping and things that sometimes help and things that I wish maybe helped a little more, or that I had access to more, because they do help. And then hopefully something that I say today will help one or more of you guys, and this video will have been worth it. A lot of the times when I am having an anxiety attack, or I can feel one coming on, what I immediately really need to try and do is get out of my own head in whatever way that might be possible for me at the current time. Whether it's just reading a regular book. This is, one of the Outlander books, but if it's available, a lot of the times when I'm in a really dark place mentally, I tend to go back to the Harry Potter books, and I will start reading those again, because I get this feeling of just like home and safety, and those are kind of like a security blanket for me. So those are generally, if I'm able to get my hands on those, are what I'll read. Another thing that I do is I have a Blue Star coloring book, and this is actually their stress relieving coloring book, and I've got all the gel pens that go with it. So sometimes the best thing I can do is just sit down for a while and color. Here's the most recent one that I'm working on, and focusing on the little things and just doing menial little, I don't have to be stuck in my head type tasks, really will help me occasionally. And so this I use more if I'm going somewhere else, like if I'm going out, or if I'm going to be at somebody else's house and I won't necessarily have access to some of the other things that I might generally use. So that I usually keep in my little travel bag with all of my coloring pens, and I pull that out when I need to. Music is also really helpful to me, but it can also be really harmful for me too, because there are some songs or artists that will trigger a memory or trigger thoughts that will then intensify and make things worse. But I do have a playlist on Spotify specifically for when I'm having an anxiety attack, and it's just called my anxiety playlist. And so sometimes I'll put that on and I'll just kind of keep that playing and try and distract myself from it as much as possible. And usually after a few songs, listening, whether I'm singing or doing whatever else along with it, generally will have brought my stress and anxiety down at least a little bit. This next one isn't as easy to talk about or have access to as much as I need it, I guess. I have a very bad history with self-harming when my mental state gets too overwhelming. And one of the things I found that did help with that is getting tattoos. So you might have noticed I've got several all over in various places, and a lot of them are just little tiny ones that I went into the shop in the spur of the moment and was like, here, put this on me, shop minimum. And that kind of release, I guess is the right term there, would be enough that I wouldn't be thinking about hurting myself anymore, or the anxiety would still be there, but the feeling that I needed to physically release it would be mostly gone. But of course that only works if you've got access to a tattoo parlor, you've got somewhere that you can walk in and have it done right then. And the big one is you have to have access to the money for it, which tattoos aren't generally cheap. And depending on the kind of anxiety that I'm going through, if I can convince myself to go out of the house, I'll go up to just like the Fantastic Sam's or just the hair place closest to my house, and I will just have them do a shampoo and a blow dry and just have somebody else just take care of that for me, get a scalp massage, get my hair blown out and styled, and paint my nails and try to feel pretty, because the pretty will distract from the ugly that I feel inside. And my last alternative, I have anxiety medication. And that's okay. It's okay to admit to yourself and to everyone else that sometimes it's okay to not be okay. You don't have to be perfect all the time, and talking with your doctor about what's going on will put you on the right track for getting the treatment and the care that you need to be able to put yourself first. And that's all that matters. I've just recently been accepted, I guess is the right word. I had to fill out a questionnaire to see if I qualified. But I'm gonna be going to a new psychiatry office in 2 weeks, and as terrifying as that is to me, going to somebody new and spilling my guts and trying to empty out all of these deep-rooted feelings and fears in my head, I'm looking forward to having an outlet and hopefully getting help so that my anxiety and my other mental health issues aren't quite so debilitating all the time. But just please know it is okay to ask for help, and it's okay to tell people that you're not okay, and it's okay to put yourself first. And that's something that I'm still working on trying to learn, because I spend so much of my time putting everybody else first and everybody else's feelings first that mine get overwhelming and they can knock me down very quickly. But I hope that sharing these with you tonight maybe helped someone, or at least opened up the topic to be discussed. I know the lighting, this video isn't the best quality. It's the middle of the night, and I just felt like it was something that I needed to talk about and that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you made it all the way to the end, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. And leave a comment below with maybe some things that you do when you get anxious or when you're feeling depressed, and maintain an open conversation, even if it's just in a comment section on a video. You know, talk to people, share ideas, and help each other. And that's really all I have to say for tonight. Make sure you subscribe. I put out new videos every Sunday, and hopefully next week's video will be a bit more upbeat and exciting and happy for you guys. But when I started this channel, I started it with the intention of being 100% genuinely myself. And in order to do that, I've got to share all the parts of myself. And so I thank you for sticking around to see them. And I will see you next week.